Good morning, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jo, this is Joey Sewy, and here we're talking about sewing, styling and self-care, and it is Me Made May, day 5. And the 5th of May is a pretty special day around here. So first of all, what am I wearing for Me Made May? Believe it or not, I have 2 Me Made garments on. Oh yes, 2! That's 4, but you know, 2. So I have this red knitted top. We're back in Sewing Central, by the way, because today we're going to do some sewing. But I have this red knitted top. I started off without the red knitted top because I thought it was warmer than it really was. So I started off with the red stripy t-shirt, which I would say is just like the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top, but this was from a charity shop. It has shoulders, it has stripes, it is the right red, so it's ticking all my boxes. We also have a little Tatty Devine sewing machine badge. What's not to love? And down here, probably work, is a stool to trip over. This space is really tight. Down here we have white jeans. Yes, we do. And these are my Me Made white jeans. They are Jenny trousers, and they are lovely, but we've had a love-hate, well, a love-forget relationship. Made them a couple of years ago. If you have watched my channel for a while, you will have seen them. I loved them when I made them. Took them on holiday to France. Had an incident with tomato sauce, like a huge incident with tomato sauce, proper like sitcom level incident with tomato sauce and white jeans, plate on lap. And I didn't think it was going to come out, and it didn't come out when we washed them while we were away, and I was gutted. And then came home and washed them, and it did come out, but for some reason in my head I had it stuck that they still had tomato sauce on them, and a button came off. They sat in my sewing room for over a year, and I was just convinced that they were written off. I just completely said in my head, they're still written off, and they weren't. I found them, oh, not that long ago, a few months ago, because there's a huge pile underneath this table of stuff that needs mending or changing. Some of the things from yesterday have gone in there. The floral dress that I need to change the sleeves on has gone under there, and the purple jumpsuit from yesterday has gone under there. That hopefully one day I will change. So there is a pile under there. These were in that, and I was going through it. I found them. I was like, oh, they don't have tomato sauce on them. I can wear white jeans. So I am wearing white jeans. Let me see if I can give you a little bit of a better view. There you go, good dancing. And so let me tell you about why today is a special day in this household. It is because today marks 18 years since I became a parent. I have been promised that we may get a special appearance by the real stars of this show, because you've already told me who you really want to see. I'm not offended. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I have 2 boys, as I have just told you. One of them turns 18 today, and the other one is 14 now, and they've been on this channel since they were way small. Let's just say World Book Day costumes, and you'll know how small they were. So I've been told that we may get a special appearance. I don't know if it will be today, because I can't necessarily impose that on them today. You never know. But what I am going to do today, before people rise and start having their birthday, I'm going to do a little bit of sewing. So I'm going to cut out, and you're going to sew along with me. So that is the outfit. That is the day. But before that, let's do a little bit of sewing. So my first job today is I am going to cut out the Madalena Vest top, which I talked about on my fabric haul. I've got some fabric left from the trousers. I've already cut out the pattern, so I'm going to lay out the fabric and see what we can get out of this. So I laid out the pattern pieces. Yeah, that's a tiny bit. That's a tiny bit. I laid out the pattern pieces so I had the fold side available in the hope that that was going to give me enough. So this is where we find out whether that was right or not. So we've got what's here. So that's the back. It needs to go on fold. This is the side back. Cut to mirror image. Oh. Probably not going to be super fussed about the grain line. We'll see how picky I can afford to be as we get along with this, but that's slightly off grain, but might be all right. I can slide that along. So I realised one thing I didn't show you in my outfit is my lovely red and white kind of stripy shoes. I've even got stripy shoes, if you can believe that. So I'm going to insert a little bit of video of me prancing around in my stripy shoes that I did, so you can see what they look like. Oh wow, there is like tiny, just about enough fabric there. Yes. Okay. Like magic. Okay. So if I do that slightly off grain, and then what have we got here? That one will probably have to be pieced. That's the side front. So I'm going to work this out and come back to you. Okay, I think I've worked it out. I think that the pattern Tetris gods are smiling on me, and I think if I just squeeze everything as close to the edges as I can, it's going to be okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my pattern weights on and start cutting. The pattern weights I use these days are old tiles. And I do have some tiny little pieces that I'll probably use for up here. I'm cutting the cropped length, partly because that is genuinely the length I would prefer to wear. If you'd seen my video yesterday about jackets, you will not be surprised by that. But also, if I'm doing out of barely any fabric, then I probably want to get the, what am I trying to say? I probably want to finish my sentences. If I'm doing it out of hardly any fabric, sorry, I'm thinking and doing it at the same time, and multitasking is a lie. So I want to do the crop length because I've only just got enough to do that anyway. What I'm doing here is I'm just going to change where the fold is, because that will give me a little bit of extra left over that might be useful. So I've cut out the two back pieces and I'm coming to do the front piece, and I'm still short, well, not short of fabric, I'll have enough, but what I've decided to do is cut the top of so this is the front, there's the front neckline, this is the shoulder seam, and to allow me to shift this whole piece up the fabric, so I've got more down there to cut the final piece out, I'm going to piece this together. So I have cut it off and I have made note to self, add seam allowance, so that when I'm cutting, I will cut above that line, and then I'll cut an extra bit from somewhere else over here maybe, and I'll just piece those together and I will have my pattern piece that I need. Also means I can keep the front on the grain line, because while I'm not so bothered about being slightly off grain with the other pieces, it would be nice if I could have the front on grain, because it'll be the most visible. So that is coming off, and I'm going to cut here. So it turns out that the pattern Tetris gods are smiling on me today, because I have all the pieces. There's my little extension. I nearly forgot to do the seam allowance, but I didn't. Side back, back, side front. No, front, side front. what I need to do now with the tiny little scraps that I've got left is see what I can get out in terms of bias binding, which we are really getting down to ridiculous levels, but if you don't try, you never know. So I'm lucky that my whole table surface is a cutting mat. I invested in one a few years ago and it is so good. Right, how wide do I need this? I forgot to check. I need 1.5 inches. I know there are methods to do this using a square, and I have done that recently, but I don't have enough fabric to make a square, so I'm going to do the old-fashioned way, and I'm going to cut lots of strips and then I'm going to sew them together, making the strips as long as I can so I make my life a little bit easier. But I don't have a lot of options because we're working with so little fabric. So we're at the sewing machine and I have many bias strips. I need to sew them together and probably need to wind the bobbin. Oh, maybe not. That's a miracle. Navy blue thread. So let's go. So this is going to take a while. I'll be back. Sewed everything together and now I am here with my steam ironing thing to press it all. Trimmed all the seam allowances and I'm going to press. I suspect I've made way more than I need, but that's better than having too little. The Madalena pattern says it's unfolded bias tape, so that's quite good, saves me a job. It'll be, I guess, folded as part of the construction. Next, I am going to measure and see how much I have overmade. So I have managed to make 5.4 meters of bias tape when I needed 2.8, but I will have extra. Better too much than too little. And I'm going to leave the sewing for now today. I might be back, I might not, I'm not sure, because we need to go out and buy some birthday things. There has been baking going on down the hallway while I have been sewing, and now there's the smell of some chocolate cake coming this way and biscuits and many other things, and we have a house full of people for a party, and we need to go and get some stuff. There's a barbecue going on outside. Yeah, so jobs to do, places to be. Might get a bit more sewing. If I do, I will share it. If I don't, this is me saying goodbye. So I hope you have a great 5th of May. It's a bank holiday Monday here in the UK. And I will see you again tomorrow with something else. See you soon. Bye.